And this is pretty much what we stand for. So if we lose that, I believe we lose the company.
Hey, what's up? I'm Brad McCallum, and me and my friend Tim Macy, we took a couple of flights, flew halfway around the world to come to Israel to see our friend Tamir Poleg, CEO of The Real Brokerage. Him and his beautiful family toured us around this gorgeous country, and we talked everything about the future of Real Broker and the industry. Join us. We got a plan. We have no idea if it's going to work out, but let's go for it. So why would a couple of agents come so far? With 14-hour flights, including stopovers in London and Lisbon, just to show up uninvited in a country that we've never been to before. We wanted to get to the bottom of things. How is it possible that our CEO can run Real Broker from Israel, a country on the other side of the earth? And what is it about Real that's causing it to grow so quickly while attracting the very best agents? We got answers to those questions and more while visiting Tamir's family and home, experiencing the culture and history, all while getting to see another side of the man that they call the Silent Lion.
We're in the old city of Jerusalem, within the old walls, and I wanted to show you the Wailing Wall. The western wall of a compound that was built as the house of God. That's probably some of the most expensive piece of real estate in the world. Just those houses.
Your vision for the future of real estate, how do you think it's changing from where it is right now? And how do you think Real's placed to sort of embrace those changes and maybe even guide some of them?
It's actually an interesting choice of place to ask such a question, because if you look around you, those homes were built probably 2,000 years ago. We as real estate professionals, we're selling a product 2,000 years ago. They want it today, they'll probably want it in 1,000 years. So there's no question around the what we're selling.
Yeah.
The problem is with the how. How we're selling it is probably going to change dramatically. Technology has impacted every piece of our lives. Like the way we shop, the way we consume information, the way we meet people. But if you look at the home buying journey, it hasn't changed much. And I think that it's getting to a critical point in which people expect us to deliver a different kind of experience when they're buying a home. Something that will be more convenient, more transparent, more friendly, take away all of the friction that exists at the moment, and just deliver something that will be enjoyable and fun. If you think about the future of real estate in those terms, you can start at least envisioning a home buying process that's a little bit more futuristic, that's very different from the way it's done today. So we wanted to back our thesis with data. So we looked at the percentage of home buyers and sellers actually using agents and the trend over the past 25 years. And you can see that right now we're actually at a peak in terms of percentage of buyers using agents. The startup cemeteries are just full of companies that wanted to come into the space with a fresh look and say, okay, we're gonna put software to work instead of agents, and this is the future. And they failed. And they failed because of the very basic psychological need of a human being to have a trusted advisor, to have a reassurance, to have somebody to walk them through this highly complicated, very expensive purchase.
Okay, so recently, you guys have made some great acquisitions. We've got Real Title, just very recently, Lemon Brew. How are those services part of Real's future? What's the vision for those?
So if you're trying to create a completely differentiated experience, what we realize is that you actually need to control those building blocks that a home buying journey consists of. So brokerage services, title services, mortgage services. And we realized that in order to really create something different, we need to own those building blocks. And this is why we acquired a title company. This is why we're now acquiring a lender, because we believe that by working together with them, smart people who know their industries, we will be able to change the processes and the experience that they're now delivering into something completely different and integrated. From the very beginning, when we started the company, the North Star was making agents' lives better. And that didn't change. This is what we wake up in the morning for. We also have to constantly think, how our agents and how their customers want to engage in 5 or 10 years from now. Like, I'm constantly thinking about my kids, my oldest one who's 16, will he be okay with buying a home the way it's done today? And if the answer is not, then how can we build that experience?
I can tell you one of the reasons that I personally joined Real was because I wanted to be at a company that was trying to solve those problems. After exploring the old city, we drove back to Tel Aviv, and along the way we got to hear from Marina, Tamir's wife, about the impact of running Real Broker on the family.
Building a company means that the family makes a lot of sacrifices.
We all are willing to work a little bit harder.
It's not the kind of sacrifice that you would define as a sacrifice. It's not painful, you don't feel like you're giving up on things. It's not like you have a family life and a work life. It's so integrated together.
I'm willing to miss you more. It's been amazing. Obviously, I'm extremely proud of him. But at the same time, I always knew since the day he started that whatever he envisioned it to be, he will manage to get there. When he's very busy and very concerned, I feel it as well. The most powerful moment is clearly the ring bell.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
I mean, it just everything became very visual, at least to me, because I got to see a lot of people getting excited with us together, which was amazing. But I also remember the little parts, the day he got the first office in Israel, the day he got the office in New York, the first investor. I remember all of the milestones. Everything was very exciting.
Tim and I got to spend only 48 hours in this country, but we didn't waste a minute. After grabbing some dinner, we spent a few hours exploring Tel Aviv before meeting up with Tamir again at the beach to continue our conversation. You live on the other side of the world. How is it possible that you could be living here in Tel Aviv and building such a great company back in North America?
It's a good question. When we were raising money, when we were much smaller, whenever I was coming to talk to a VC, they would be asking, okay, are you moving to the States, or when are you moving? Because for them it was natural, and my answer was, you have to trust me that I'll do anything the company needs me to do in order for the company to be successful. So for years, I was traveling back and forth every other week. So I personally took on that sacrifice together with my family. Even though I'm living in Israel, it really feels as if I'm in the US because I'm working according to a US time zone and I'm traveling whenever is necessary. I think that what the pandemic taught us is that you can actually run a business or build a business without being physically present. And sometimes it's even better. Allows you to develop a certain perspective that's a little bit outside of the box. And I think that the world is truly small. And when you think of the world as a place where everything is accessible, everything is possible, that you can actually develop and maintain meaningful relationships without maybe even ever meeting. When you're building a company, and it doesn't matter if those are the early days or you're 8 years in, there are always challenges. I think that in a very short time frame can become that company that's known for delivering an amazing service to agents. And it's doable, and I think we're on our way. I just wish we were there already.
And it's one of those things that matters a lot to agents. And I mean, I know for me, when something doesn't work, I want it to work immediately. Sure. And I would love to get an answer immediately. But when I'm really honest, I've been at two different brokerages now in my career, and neither were perfect. Both are incomplete solutions so far, but what I've seen in the last even 3 or 4 months with our team and with our agents is a real tightening of the response time to questions and concerns that agents have, which I think is huge for building their trust. I heard Tamir mention that it was partnerships that drove innovation at Real. So I asked him to explain what he meant by this.
We have to acknowledge that we are in a low margin business. We're building a company where we're trying to give as much as possible back to the agents. And if you want the model to be attractive, then you need your cost structure to be extremely efficient.
Yeah.
So the need for automation is just built in the vision of the company of creating an amazing offering for agents. Agents want to get paid fast. Agents care about support. Agents want visibility into their business. And agents care a lot about their time. So if you can save time, that's a huge win. I think that if I'm looking at different product and engineering teams in the industry, we have a profound understanding of how agents operate, which many companies just don't have.
What gives you that insight? Why can you say that with confidence?
Because we work so closely with our agents. Like you interviewed Pritesh, and you also worked with Pritesh on certain things. Like the speed of understanding of what the problem is and the speed of execution on actually rolling out a solution is unparalleled. Like the fact that we're able to understand, create, and roll out amazing solutions is due to a true sense of partnership between us and the agents. The agents provide us the feedback. They see that as a partnership. They want the company to become better. They want to contribute. They want to see us improving.
The challenge with running a technology company that's trying to innovate is people don't maybe always understand that there's a problem before you create the solution.
Well, that's an amazing point, because I think that what's happening with a lot of tech companies, especially in the real estate space, is that a group of people are starting a company and they're thinking that they know better than anyone. Like they're saying, okay, things are working in a certain way, we think they should work in another way, that's what we're going to build, and they're building it, and all of a sudden nobody's using it. They were not relying on the people that are actually there to use the product, the people that do the work. They didn't create those partnerships. They were trying to dictate.
And speaking of partnerships, I wanted to know why, now, more than ever, is Real the right place for agents to align their businesses with? There's a lot of changes going on in the world right now. They're talking about a shift in the market in the US, high interest rates. Agents are a little bit concerned, or at least wary about what the future might bring. How does Real provide solutions for them in their businesses?
I started surfing when I was 13, right on those beaches right here. And as a surfer, what you learn is that once you're riding a wave, it's the best feeling in the world. Like you feel on top of the world. And when the wave is over, and when you get off the wave, you have to paddle back that real estate wave that we rode. It's over, it's gone.
Like the good times.
It's gone, for
That
now.
perfect wave,
For now.
yeah.
There will be other waves coming.
Yeah.
But what we have to do right now is focus on paddling hard to get back to the top to wait for the next wave. Many agents just never experience the down market. And first of all, we have to instill some confidence in them. Confidence in the market, in their ability, in the fact that we are the right partners, in the fact that they're surrounded by people that can help them paddle back up. I mean, Real is the only alternative that actually makes sense, especially now, more than ever. So I cannot imagine why agents will go anywhere else.
We spent a lot of time discussing how Real's no monthly fee offer, along with other streams of income, can help in a challenging market. But agents also need a community of peers for support.
Culture is something that amazes me on a daily basis. How is it that we attracted such amazing people? What's in this company that made this happen? It's probably about being very genuine around the fact that we are here to create something with the agents, for the agents. One vision, one goal, one company, one Real. This is the future from a product perspective. This is the future from the agent's perspective. This is the future from the culture perspective. We're not trying to create something that's fragmented.
All of the agents at Real will get a sort of a similar experience, a similar cultural experience. They can tap in to smart agents, talented agents, successful agents across North America right now and learn from them, whether or not they're their sponsor or not. How important is it to keep that part of the culture at Real?
So if we lose that, I believe we lose the company. By bringing in people, partners who believe in this strong collaboration, who believe that the we is bigger than the me.
We also learned about one of Tamir's past careers.
Like a very known nightclub, and I was bartending, I think about 2 years when I was a student.
So not any time during also being the CEO of Real?
I was very close to actually needing that, like this extra income. Seriously, sometimes, yeah.
I wanted to understand why Tamir felt that the One Real concept was different than other brokerages with similar models.
I think that if you're building a company that's based on people only collaborating with people in their immediate network or people that have an actual incentive, financial incentive to help them, you're building something that's not complete. You're not truly tapping into the power of network. And the power of network is, the bigger the network is, the more valuable it gets. And if you're taking that huge network and just chopping it into a lot of smaller networks, then you're missing out on amazing potential.
So an agent can earn ownership in numerous ways at Real. What's the responsibility of ownership?
Macy once told me that there's a difference between having ownership and taking ownership. This is what I'd like to see. This, for me, is a true partner. It's about contribution to others. It's about impact on other people's lives.
Tamir's leadership style is clearly one of service, a balance between his head and his heart, and this combination seems to work, attracting talented individuals with similar values to the organization.
People often say that being a CEO is a lonely position and you have to make decisions by yourself, and I live thousands of miles from the US, so I feel it all the time. I think that what changed in the past year or year and a half is that I just don't feel lonely anymore. I feel like I'm surrounded by amazing people, amazing partners, so much love. And for me, the fact that you're here is just a testament of that love and partnership. So when you called me and said, hey, we want to do it, I'm 100% sure that I was more excited than you were. Seriously. So it's not very common in the business world to talk about kindness, but I think that this is something that's actually changing, and I'm happy to be a part of a company that's changing a little bit this mindset. I'm competitive, and I want to win, and we will win, but it's about the way to get there. You're just focusing on what you do and doing the best you can.
What does number one look like to you?
The win for us would be, in a couple of years, to be perceived as the company that changed the way people buy and sell homes with technology while leaving the agents in the center of the transaction. So for me, that will be the win. The way there includes creating the most amazing community of agents in the world. I'm often surprised by the fact that I wake up in the morning with so much energy and so much passion and so much desire to create and help. If you think about where this company is going to be in 5 years or 10 years, these are the early days right now. And those people that actually chose to partner up with us, chose to join us, chose to come here and help us build are the ones that I have to thank. For people who want to succeed in real estate, people who have a strong desire of serving clients, building communities, people that want to collaborate, people who share the same DNA as we do, people that are kind. It's just the power of gathering an amazing group of people that each one of us is bringing something to the table, and just knowing how to glue those people together, I think that this is what's going to make us win.
For having Tim and I into your home and into your country, we appreciate you. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much for coming, and you're invited anytime. Like, we would love for you to come again with your families. And by the way, I welcome every agent to come here. Like, this is the most amazing time for me. Like, I've had the most amazing 48 hours, and I'd love to do it again.
And with that, our time in Israel had come to an end. What started as a crazy idea just weeks earlier was now a memory and a lesson for us that you can achieve something pretty special if you're willing to just take a chance, work hard, and be kind.
So I've just spent the last hour and a half walking backwards through Israel, and I'm sweating and my hands hurt from holding that camera for so long. I'm not a cameraman, dang it.